Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the founder of the Aurea Foundation, Mr. Peter Munk.
On behalf of my foundation and on behalf of the Munk Debates, I'd like to welcome you all. There seems to be a degree of excitement. I think I've been here for all six. And this excitement seems to be also sort of noticeable beyond the hall and beyond the city. I heard rumors, I hope they're false, that people pay stupid, crazy prices for tickets. I wouldn't want to quote them because I may be charged by the SEC for insiders trading. So I'm not going to quote these insane prices, but it just indicates again that the excitement seems to be growing. But you know, rather than complaining about it, I got to admit to you that when we initially had the idea of starting these debates, we actually did hope for excitement. You see, the idea behind the debates was really nothing else but to try to elevate the quality of discussion, the level of dialogue on really important global issues amongst Canadians. There are many ways of doing that, of course. But there was no better way than a high-quality discussion, a high-quality debate, in fact, that involved issues of vital importance to all of us, indeed global issues, discussions by people who are superbly informed and highly qualified, and discussions and debates on points that could only be articulated by people who have the expertise, the knowledge, and indeed the commitment to the very subject we want to bring to the fore. And I must say, to our credit, and I will give specific credit later on to the person who is really responsible for all this, we did succeed. And the debate indeed was improved. The level of the debate, the level of information, the level of the facts out there has increased substantially on all the issues that have been covered in the past 2.5 or 3 years in the 6 debates. You see, debates, in contrast to a speech, are multidimensional. You prepare for a speech, you sit around at home, you get onto your miraculous various Google machines or whatever you happen to use. You download all those wonderful things that you want to talk about. You select the relevant points. You throw out the bad ones. You go and have dinner. You come back. You prepare. You sleep on it. You redo it again. And then, lo and behold, you come to the big evening and you keep your sheet of paper in front of you and you read it. Well, that's one way to get your points across. Ladies and gentlemen, it is a whole different ballgame for someone like our venerable guests to have the courage to come here in front of a large number of people, to be given no more than 5 minutes to say their prepared, canned presentation, and then be faced with a barrage by somebody equally smart as you are, equally well prepared as you are, equally committed as you are, but determined to destroy your points. That's a whole different ballgame. You try it once. Talking about being multidimensional. You don't know which of your facts will be demolished. You don't know which of your arguments will be totally destroyed. And you don't know which of the very, very points you made will be absolutely made invalid. And then you've got to come back, and you're now rattled, you're shaken up, and you don't know what the hell to say, but you've got to say something. And it is that kind of stimulus, that kind of adrenaline, that gets the most out of you. Brilliant minds, even mediocre minds, operate better under stimulus. We all operate better if you are being challenged. We all operate better if you are being, kicked around a bit. If there is an adversary, your adrenaline comes and forces you to make your best arguments. Those are the arguments, those are the points that we at the Foundation thought the Canadian audience should hear, and which should ultimately help elevate the information available in Toronto and in Canada at large to help us make judgments and pass our own opinions about these vital issues. So in that spirit, I think that tonight will not disappoint. I think the subject we have chosen is as relevant as any subject we could, is probably foremost globally on most intelligent people's debate. Religion, faith, is it a positive, is it a negative? As to the speakers, we just simply could not have done better. As to the commitment, no one can doubt the two parties' commitment. So I think that with any bit of luck, we have tonight ahead of us something that's going to be stimulating enough and exciting enough, maybe even to justify those stupid prizes those idiots paid on the eBay. Of course, I may be wrong. You'll be the judge, or those guys who paid those prizes. Before I conclude, let me say a word about the three people who now you're going to be exposed to, and who I'd like to welcome on behalf of the audience and on behalf of all of you. The first person I should talk about is Rudyard Griffith. It was Rudyard's idea as a member of my board. It was Rudyard's concept to have this debate. Rudyard is also the moderator. Rudyard is also the guy who executes it. And before I switch on to the next person, Rudyard deserves unlimited credit for this very successful Munk debate program. Let me say to you, and I don't think we need to talk about it tonight, that I personally, maybe from a 50-year business experience, often find ideas to be quite destructive. Ideas, good ideas, coupled with good execution, is the opposite. It's all about the execution. A great idea coupled with great execution can change the world. A great idea with no execution disturbs you, upsets you, and leads you nowhere except confusion. Rudyard is the ultimate brilliant creator of an idea and an ultimate brilliant executioner. And I don't mean me. He's an outstanding person. As to our two debaters, I'm personally and truly honored to be able to stand here and welcome to Toronto, like we've done today at lunchtime, the Right Honourable Tony Blair. I don't believe that I need to talk about him. I don't believe that there's another human being that arguably had as much impact on the events of the world over the past 20 or 30 years as he did. No one could be better known, no one could be better respected, and no one could have a major impact. I cannot tell you how pleased, thrilled, and honored we were when he accepted this particular role, and we know how committed he is to the very side he is going to argue. As to Christopher Hitchens, the world has known many skeptics, but has known very few skeptics of that caliber. He is the ultimate global skeptic. And if anybody needs to debate someone like Tony Blair on faith, we need that kind of caliber. I have absolutely total faith that his conviction, and this was not a Freudian error, it was a deliberate statement. I do believe that if anybody can stand up to Tony's overwhelming debating skills, honed and trained over 2 decades in the British Parliament, the ultimate debating forum, on a subject that he's so committed to, Christopher will do it and can do it. I must also, before I must, on behalf of all of you, say a word of gratitude and acknowledgement to Christopher's courage. As we all know, Christopher is battling the ultimate battle. Christopher is fighting the ultimate fight. And anybody who, under those conditions, accepts an invitation and comes here, this does nothing but doubles and trebles our respect, our appreciation, and deserves an eternal gratitude from all of us who are allowed to witness his performance. And if I may say, Christopher also, in my opinion, happens to be one of the greatest minds of our times. Thank you for being with us.
Walk on this side, or do you want me to go?
Please welcome your co-organizer of the Munk Debates and your moderator for the evening, Rudyard Griffiths.
Well, welcome to Toronto, Canada for the Munk Debate on Religion in association with the BBC and Intelligence Squared. I'm Rudyard Griffiths, and it's my privilege to be your moderator tonight. I want to begin by welcoming the worldwide audience of the British Broadcasting Corporation, some 240 million people that will have access to this debate through the BBC World Service, BBC Online News, and BBC World News. It's just a fabulous opportunity to bring this debate to a truly global audience. I also want to welcome the tens of thousands of people watching this debate live and archived on monkdebates.com. It's terrific that they're part of this conversation too. And I also want to turn my attention to this hall, this spectacular hall, the lucky 2,700 people who are here in the flesh to listen to this debate tonight. Let it be said that on this day, thanks to the generosity of Peter and Melanie Munk, that Canada and its largest city, Toronto, is truly at the heart of the global conversation. Now, the moment we have all been waiting for. We have our motion before us. Be it resolved, religion is a force for good in the world. All we need is our debaters here center stage. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Tony Blair and Mr. Christopher Hitchens.